All right, guys, what's going on? Welcome to Sunday Night Charts with Jim of All Trades. Good to see ya. Hope you're well. Welcome to the channel. My name's Jim. I'm a crypto trader and a Forex trader here to help you understand the market from an Elliott wave perspective. Guys, that's what we do here, guys. We look at wave structure on this channel. That's not the only way I trade, but it's certainly what I provide YouTube. As far as content is concerned, we give a perspective on wave structure. Guys, you can find TA all over the place, but you don't find a lot of people that know how to read wave structure very well. So I offer that aspect of it free of charge every Sunday night for you. If you want to learn how to look at the waves like I look at them, I've got a Discord for that and an educational resource that you can apprise yourself of. We got a community of traders that interact together on a regular basis, and if you want to be part of that community, I'd love to have you. But with that said, I do have something free as well if you want to join that, not join it, but if you want to be part of that or use it or apprise yourself of it. That's basically what I'm trying to say is I've got a free playlist. It's called Trading Night School. It's a pretty old playlist. It's years, but you'll learn the basics of Elliott wave theory there, and that's a good place to start if you want to dive in. Eric, what's up, buddy? I am doing well. How are you, bud? Hope you're well. What's up, JQ? I'm doing well. I see that you're wishing me well. Appreciate that, man. Keith on the run. He's running as fast as he can. Or slow. Marathon, man. It's a marathon. You got to just keep pace. Just keep the rhythm, keep the pace, get rocking, buddy. But I'm going to be in your ear. Keep going, don't quit. Okay, Epsilon, why are you short on the weekly? Looks like it's about to break out. I could have done without the happy crying face if that was meant to belittle somebody. Offer your questions without belittling anybody. Maybe you didn't mean anything by it, but sometimes I overanalyze emojis. What's up, Ricky Spanish, my friend? How you doing, buddy? I hope you're well. Between the aisles, he's short. It's a good area to think about taking a short for sure. Make sure you have a strategy for cutting that when you know you're wrong. How do you know you're wrong? Make sure you have a strategy for that. Make sure you have an exit plan even before you enter those things. Eddie Bo, thanks for giving that my channel a like. I appreciate that. Always appreciate you being here. Crypto Fever. What's up, man? Jay, my good friend Jay. Hope you're well there in the UK. Mr. Laplation. Hey, welcome. I think I just said hi to everybody that said hi to me. So want to acknowledge you guys, let you know I appreciate you guys. Thanks for being here. What we're going to do tonight, we're going to really take a peek at this the monthly chart and look at the monthly candle because we got a monthly candle close happening tomorrow. So that means, what does that mean? That means the monthly candle, right now I got it on the weekly. We'll look at this as well. But the monthly candle is saying, hey, I'm getting ready to close the candle and start a new monthly candle. And the way that candle looks might indicate what's coming next as far as the chart's concerned. So the question is, how is this? Let me point to the monthly candle. Here it is. Boom. How is that monthly candle going to close? Okay. For those of you who are kind of new to trading or new to candlesticks, maybe let me just take a second to explain that. A candlestick tells everything you need to know about a particular time frame of trading of price. Okay, you have basically 4 aspects to the candle you need to pay attention to. Okay, you have the open of the candle. That's the opening price, and that's indicated by this bottom. Let me just kind of talk about this for a second. It's indicated by this where the last month closed. You'll notice it opened at the same location. It's the bottom of the candlestick. Okay, it's the body of the candle. Okay, so this big green thing right there, that's the body of the candle. Then you got a wick on the top and a wick on the bottom. Okay, so the body is the open and the close. Okay, of a particular time frame. Now this is the monthly chart. That means every candle is 1 month. That's 1 month of price action. Okay, so this one candle is telling you what's happened in the month of June. All right. So This is the open here. It opened. This is the close. It's green. That means it's closing. It's not closed yet, though. That's the thing. Where's it going to close? What price will it be if it closes? If it's a green candle, that means it closes higher than the opening of the candle. I know this. A lot of you are like, why are you going over this? Because there might be somebody out there, guys, that stumbles on my channel, doesn't know anything about candlesticks, doesn't understand how to read the chart, and they're looking for some help maybe. And so let's just take a minute and explain it. How about that? So you got the open and the close. If it closes higher, then it's a green candle. If it closes lower, it's a red candle, like right here. It opened here and it closed here. It's red, indicating that's the direction price was moving down. Okay? All right, so green candle, price is moving up. Red candle, price is moving down. Okay? Open, close, then you have the high and the low. So that means the wick tells you where price has been, what this candle has looked like. It looked a lot more solid green than it was. The price has been this month up to 110K or so. And it's been as low as 98K or so, right? So anyway, so the wick tells you the highest price and the lowest price that it's been. So you got the open, you got the close, you got the high, and you got the low. All right, so that's basically what you're looking for in a candle, right? That's what you're like, okay. It's going to tell you. But the thing is, what you guys have to understand, and this is really, really important that you understand this, is that you can often see, let me say it this way. When you look at a candle, these candlesticks are designed to elicit emotion out of you, right? So certain things happen. When you, for instance, get a candle that closes higher, you're bullish. You're like, hey, that's bullish. Or when you get a candle that closes lower, that's bearish, right? When you get really big candle that's really solid, that elicits emotion. When you get a doji or an inverted hammer or whatever, different candlestick, it means different things about what happened in that time period, for price as it moved. And those candlesticks really, really elicit emotion out of traders. Why is that important? Well, because this game that we're playing called trading is all about grabbing liquidity. Guys, you cannot ever be a great trader, in my opinion. Well, I don't know if I can say this. There's ways to be a great trader, but really to be a well-informed trader, you have to understand that this game is about taking money. The big boys taking money from the small boys. The people moving the markets, the real people moving the markets, need to be able to buy and sell large quantities of an asset. Okay, they make money hand over fist, whether they buy it or they sell it. Okay, these people control price, okay, and they control it with their huge accounts. They can push price up and they can push price down, and they, in order to be a money making, how do I say, a money making scam, they have to get you to release your funds. They have to get you to hand over dollars to them. Well, how do you do that? Well. How do they make money? Well, when they're selling, they make money as price goes down, right? And when they're buying, they make money as price goes up. Well, who are they selling to, guys? Who are the big boys selling to? Well, not the other big boys, because they're all in it. They're all in it together. So the big boys can't sell to other big boys because they know better. So who do they sell to? They sell to the masses, the peons, the little guys, just the Joe Schmo out there trying to make a little bit of money in the market. And in order for them to sell, they have to have willing buyers. In other words, in order for the big boys to be able to offload their stacks, they have to have willing buyers. Willing, like willing to say, hey, yeah, give me that product. I will give my money. You give me the product. That's buying. So they're selling while you're buying. Okay? That's really important to understand. Secondly, they're buying when you're selling. How do they buy? They got to have willing sellers. Okay? This is just a really, really important thing to understand. They have to have willing sellers. Well, when does the average Joe willingly sell an asset? When he doesn't believe price is going to go up. In other words, when the little guy believes price is not going to go up and he's scared that it's going to go down, he will sell his asset. But if he believes with all his heart that price is going to go up, he will buy. And he doesn't care at what price he buys. He doesn't care where on the chart he buys. He just has told himself, he has given himself a belief system that says, oh, I know price is going up. And there are some of you out there just like this. I know price is going up. Price is definitely going to this number or that number. I hear it every live stream. Oh, price is definitely going here. Jim, you're so crazy. You're on crack and you're bad and you're this and that. And I get belittled and people act like I'm I don't know anything. Well, what I know is that this is a rigged game. And that principle that I just shared and tried to help you understand is the way this game works. Okay. So that means all the candlesticks are designed, they're printed, highs, lows, opens and closes. Okay. Those candlesticks are printed in such a way dynamically that they can change. For instance, on the monthly chart, during this entire month, okay, this candle used to look red. This thing was a red candle before. Well, now it's a green candle. So when it was red, you're looking at that and like, oh, price is going down maybe. Oh, it's dumping. Oh, right? Now it's green and it's above the high. You're looking at this and say, oh, it's closing tomorrow and price is above this last high. So here's the question. Is price going to close? Is this candlestick going to confirm a higher high close? Or tonight and tomorrow, are we going to get price action that sells off and turns this candle into an indecision candle that looks like this, where you got a little teeny candle body and you got a wick on the top and a wick on the bottom? That's what we call a doji. Here's an example of one right there. That's an indecision candle. Okay. Here's an indecision candle. Okay. That's an indecision. That's what we call an indecision. Price, you can't figure out whether price is going up or price is going down. Right? That's an indecision candle. So we're at a moment in time that are they going to turn this into an indecision candle? Are they going to turn it into a big engulfing? In other words, are we going to have a one-day dump that turns this into an engulfing red? I doubt that very much. I mean, price doesn't move that fast in a month or in one day, I should say. We only have one more day until the candle closes. That's tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This candle will close, and it will either close green, it'll close red, okay? It'll close with a big pump, maybe a big pump candle, maybe an indecision candle, okay? Maybe just like it is. Maybe price won't move much at all, and it'll close much like it looks now, which is, I mean, it's not a super powerful candle, but it's certainly a somewhat bullish candle, but not as bullish as that candle right there or that candle right there. But notice when you get these big engulfing kind of candles, it's followed by months of indecision. Okay. Here we got a big one indecision, engulfing to the downside. Now they're taking out that, oh, we're going up again, here we go. Or that's a fake out to the upside. This is indecision, and it turns down and does that trick. Okay? Which I think is likely. It's possible. I think that's something to really pay attention to. The next couple of months could be very bearish. Could be. But that's why this monthly candle close is very, very important, right? Because it's going to give us some sense for where price might be going, okay? So if we don't have a volatile day today and tomorrow, tonight and tomorrow, if we don't have volatile price action taking us down, then this candle is going to be much this, or if we don't have volatile price action taking us up, then that candle is going to be much like this. And the question is, are there any other places on the chart where you get indecision candles kind of like this at the tops? And I want you to just take a peek right there. Boom. Right there. Boom. Okay? Those are two peaks, okay? You had one indecision candle, had an engulfer, and then they took it out and engulfed it, and then they rotated it on down. Okay? Now that's already happened once before. Are they going to repeat that play? Maybe. They could repeat that play, but are they going to? I don't know. Right? But you have a very, very similar thing happening right now. Okay, we had an engulfer to the downside. They have taken it out. Boom. Okay, are we looking for another move to the downside? Maybe. Or they're giving you the look like it's going to go down and then maybe take it on up. Okay, so we need to see how this candle is going to close tomorrow. Okay, so let's figure out what price might be doing. Just got a question from Slice, and that is what he's asking: why does price keep going up? Okay, well, remember, where do the big boys make their money? They make their money from people willing. They need to sell. Okay, so if the big boys want to take the price down, they need to sell, and they need to sell hard. That means they need to sell to willing buyers. Okay, so what do we got? What do we got on the chart? Well, we have what appears to be an impulse wave. We have what appears to be a three-wave correction, and now we have another impulse. So it appears that price has gone up. We got a three-wave pullback, and now we're continuing. That's what it appears, right? And sometimes price actually does that very thing, right? And this certainly could go up and pull back a little bit, maybe get a little bit bearish, but not too bearish. So you get a three-wave pullback. We don't break the high quite yet. Stay in this range before it continues on up. That very well could happen. I'm not here to say it can't. It could. I'm not here to tell you what's going to happen. I'm going to analyze the wave structure and say, okay, what's likely, and then what's going on from a liquidity standpoint. How do these waves point to the big boys taking money from you? Okay, but one of the things we understand as Elliott traders or Elliottians is, well, let's just take a peek at this what happened right in here for a moment. Let's just look at it for a moment. Okay, so what happened? What was going on here? Well, price was going. Let's just talk about the psychology of price going up and up and up and up and up. Okay, you get a correction, and then it goes up, breaks the high, dumps down, and then it gets taken all back, makes a new high. In other words, we're making higher highs and higher lows. You know, so we're pushing up, right? And so that's whenever price goes up and then makes a correction, and then price takes out that high, it changes psychology of people. It really does. It changes your psychology. Okay, Price comes down. It goes up and makes a higher high. Ooh, yeah, it keeps going up, Jim. It keeps going up. And it pulls back. It goes up one more time, and then boom. Right? I mean, look at it. It corrected, made the high. Boom. Let's go up again. Boom. Right? And then it's indecision for a while. Look like it's going down. Nope, we're going to go hit that high. But, we're going up again. Oh, we're getting bullish again. We had a big correction, and now we're going up. And then what do they do with price? They hit you again. Boom. So that's the way the game is played, right? So why did price come up here, take that high, and then reject? Well, I mean, there are a lot of people shorting up here, and price rejected, and you could try to explain it by the market, by the market buying and selling pressure. You could try to explain it that way, or you could explain it the way I prefer. You understand that this market is absolutely manipulated. Okay, it's absolutely manipulated. They create highs, reject, they take those highs out, and then go on. It's all about liquidity. Whenever it makes a new high, it gets traders excited. There are people that FOMO into stuff like that. They're called breakout traders, and they're FOMOers, and they're buying because Bitcoin keeps going up. And all they got on their mind is 200K, 300K, million, or whoever they're listening to. All they got on their mind is price is always going to go up. Bitcoin's always going to go up, and I'm never going to, it's never going to stop. And the market makers need people like that. In fact, they create people like that. How do they do that? With news. They do that with news. They do that with current events, right? We got a crypto president, guys. We're bullish, man. We're ready to go. MicroStrategies. Oh, they bought another 80 million, 80 billion. They bought 80 million more Bitcoin. Oh, India's buying Bitcoin. Oh, Bitcoin. Oh, this government, that government. News. You got a crypto president. You got all this news. Boom. Why? And where does the news come in? Where does this bullish news come to you? Isn't it interesting that the bullish news never comes? You don't ever get bullish news when crypto is dumping, right? Like at the bottom of a dump. All you get is bad news. So in other words, when price is going down, the news is bad. Bad. The narrative is bad. Oh, and why? And you're feeling real bad because price was going up and it made a new high, and then it just kept dumping. It didn't even give you a pullback. It kept dumping and dumping and dumping. Came all the way back down to from 69K to 15K, and that does something to the emotions of people. That kind of price action messes with your emotions, okay? That's just what happens. It's supposed to. Everybody's screaming Bitcoin to 100K when price takes out that high. Oh, next stop, 100K, here we go. No, the next stop was 15K. But down here, what was the narrative? Down here, we're going back to 12K. We're going back to $8,000. Everybody, all these targets down here. We were coming down here. That was the narrative. No. We went to it. No, down here, where's the next stop? 100K. That's the next stop. Price will go where you expect it to go, but here's the deal. It doesn't go how you expect it. There has to be liquidity grabs. There has to be waves out of nowhere when it was bearish as crap off of a high, and then boom, you get a bullish wave that comes out of nowhere and hits the high again. It's not out of nowhere. It's normal price action. When you understand wave structure, you don't freak out at price action like this. You know it's part of it. You know it's part of the game. That's why you study wave structure. That's why you watch my channel, so you can get some rational TA. Jay Freeman, I was saying buy, buy, buy. I was bullish as crap down lower. And I was telling my Discord, I was in December of this low. This is bullish. This is bullish. We were looking for buys. So anyway, I was not bearish down here. I was bullish. This was when I was a bull boy. I was bull boy, but my thought was that it was going to 40K, 50K. 40 to 50 was my concept. And then I was looking for more down to 12. That I was looking for wave structure like that. And then to the moon. So, yeah. My only point here is, number one, I don't know the future. Okay, I don't know it. But I don't get bullish at highs, big round numbers like 100K when I see completed wave structure. I don't get bullish when I see completed wave structure. It's at the high we've been waiting for a long time. The biggest round number there is, 100K. I don't get bullish. I'm bearish. I'm looking for sells up here. I'm not looking for buys. I'm looking for sells. Could price go up? Yeah, it could go up. But I'm looking for selling here. I'm not looking to buy here. Who's going to buy this such an inflated price? Let me talk about price of Bitcoin and how it's valued for a moment, because Camel just made a point. He said, crazy one day people will love to buy at 100K. One day. That's under the assumption Bitcoin, is going to be valued by the US dollar against the US dollar forever. You see, you got to understand, that's our current economic system. The US dollar is the world reserve currency, right? Jay Freeman, yeah, that's possible. I mean, an extension of Wave 5, absolutely, that's possible. 145 even would be a target that I've been talking about for quite a while. But let me finish what I was saying though. Sometimes I'm ADD when I read the chat, guys. Sorry. All right, so what was I saying? Crap, lost my train of thought. Daggone it. Oh, yeah. So right now the system is U.S. dollar, right? That the world reserve currency, the world revolves around the U.S. dollar. Well, number one, other countries like China, Russia, they don't like that. They don't like that at all. The rest of the world wants to get away from the U.S. dollar. Why are yield rates going up? Okay, why are yield rates going up? Because that's the U.S.'s mechanism to keep people interested in U.S. debt. The only reason people want to invest in U.S. debt is because, well, higher yield rates say, okay, we're going to give you more yield for your risk because there's greater risk now. So that's why yield rates go up. But eventually, the confidence in the dollar will tank. It already is undermined. It already is weak. And you see the dollar being devalued as we speak. That devaluing is active too, so that the debt that the U.S. has can be devalued and taken care of more easily. Now, the thing is, once the dollar loses its status as the world reserve currency, and one day it probably will, and we're heading in that direction, when the world no longer believes in the U.S. dollar, when the foundation of the U.S. dollar is completely, the rug is pulled out from it. I mean, we've been printing trillions of dollars, and we printed more money in the last 5 to 10 years, since COVID, I said the last 3 years, then I forgot what I was saying because y'all are talking and Slice is talking and I'm in the middle of a thought. Sorry. I'll get you, buddy. I'll get you. I'm going to ignore the chat just for a minute, just to talk. Anyway, confidence is being undermined in the U.S. dollar. So one day there's going to be a black swan. There's going to be a market crash. There's going to be something that's going to start a domino effect of some real hurting around the world and in the United States. I mean, hurt is coming, guys. Big time hurt. It's going to be the kind of hurt that it's going to cause businesses to shut down. People are going to lose their jobs. The world is going to be hurting for certain. It's going to mirror the Great Depression, but it's going to be a lot worse. Why? Because we have been, what we've been doing we're going to have a complete reset of the economy, a reset. But when we reset, we're going to a different economy. Okay, that is built around AI, and it's built around crypto and digital assets. But before that can happen, the current system has to die, it has to fail, and the people have to cry out to their respective governments for help. They have to cry, we need help. And then the governments will be able to then swoop in as the saviors. Oh yeah, we got this crypto thing. Go to crypto.gov, set up your wallet. We'll deposit some programmable money. Yeah, we're ready. We got a plan to get this economy moving. Here's some money to get going. And they program the money, go spend it in the next 3 to 6 months. And you can only spend it on these things, but let's get this economy rolling now. And everybody will be happy because now they got money and given to them by the government, fixing their problems, fixing their current need to eat and feed their children and whatnot. And then all of a sudden, we're in complete slavery to the system. That's what's coming, guys. That is coming. You heard it here. We are heading that way. And you guys are embracing the Trojan horse that is crypto, that is Bitcoin. Bitcoin is the Trojan horse for all of this stuff. How do you manufacture value from a byte, a 1 and a 0? How do you manufacture it? Well, they did it. They manufacture. It is New World Order stuff. It's real. How do you manufacture wealth out of nothing and get people to embrace that real money is no longer gold and silver? It's digital. Money and values is digital, and you can just transact value digitally without something real and tangible. This isn't a bearish take. This is Kevin. This isn't a bearish take. This is where markets are going, and this is what the world is heading to. This is what they're taking us to. So I believe what Bitcoin has done is, number one, introduced blockchain technology to the world and coupled it with value. Look, not only is blockchain super, super helpful and a new way to do business, blockchain, that's one piece of it, but it's really valuable. It's worth a lot of money. Why is it worth a lot of money? Because they said so. They created a market and drove the price up. Kevin, absolutely bearish on humanity. No doubt about it. Bearish on governments. Bearish on the people running the world. They hate life and they hate us and they love power. Absolutely. It's the reality you're living in, buddy. I'm sorry, man. I hate to be I mean, guys, listen. I mean, you're talking to somebody who voted for the guy that is the president of the United States right now. I voted for him, hoping he was an outsider. Hoping maybe he was actually going to come in and clean house. But no, I mean, he's already shown his true colors, guys, unfortunately. He's just another puppet doing his thing. He's not the real deal. I mean, if he was the real deal, Epstein and the Epstein files would be out. If he was the real deal, there would be justice for the people on that list. If he was the real deal, he'd be doing things, really doing things that it was bringing justice. He's just talking a big game, but the people pulling the strings are still pulling the strings. Look at Dan Bongino and Kash Patel. Two stand-up guys, but they get in there and they tell us Epstein, oh yeah, he killed himself. You got to understand too that I'm also, as Chemo just mentioned, I have a perspective that I've been told the end of the story, that this world will get worse and worse, that there is coming a day that you will neither be able to buy or sell unless you subscribe to the system of the beast. And we're heading to that. What kind of system can a government that's one worldish, what kind of system would be able to prevent you from buying and selling if you don't toe the line to their wishes? What kind of system? Well, it would have to be a digital system that where the money is programmable and controllable. We're heading that way. Yes, Revelation. We're heading in that direction, and so this crypto digital age is just giving rise to the system of the beast that will be down the future, in the future. The world will move to the digital system, and the world will be controlled by that system. You will be enslaved by that system. And if you don't toe the line, you don't have freedom of thought. You have to say what the government wants you to say and do what the government wants you to do. And if you don't, if you're a troublemaker, they'll turn your money off. All these things you're mentioning, CBDCs and social credit scores, it's just the beginning of giving you just a taste of where we're headed. It's going to be a lot worse. It's going to be a lot worse. It's going to get worse, but we're heading that direction. So, anyway, so as we think about the U.S. dollar, it's going to collapse. I'm very bearish on the U.S. dollar. I'm very bearish on the fiat system that we're in, this cash system, this printable money on a printing press, okay? I'm very bearish on that. Why? Because that money is no longer rooted in gold and silver. Kevin, that's right. They can do that now, but they're not doing it. They have to do it by getting the people to scream for it. Don't you understand? If they did it now, the people would revolt against it, rise up and lose their lives for the revolution. No. What they have to do is get the people to scream for what they want to do. And then the people enslave themselves. Okay, so understanding that the dollar is going to tank, Bitcoin won't be valued in US dollars forever. So whatever system we're moving to, we're going to stablecoin in a stablecoin environment. That's where we're headed. Okay? We're headed to digital dollars where they're going to revalue the dollar digitally. And quite possibly Bitcoin, but it's not for certain, Bitcoin could be the gold of that new digital age. Kevin, I wouldn't put a date on it. No, I'm simply saying that the digital age that we're moving into will be the environment that the people on earth will be living in when Jesus returns. That doesn't mean the digital system can't go on for years and years and begin to grow and whatever before the lawless one, as Paul calls him, the man of sin, as he calls him in his letter to the Thessalonians, is revealed. But he won't be revealed until his time. But when he is revealed, it will be with great deception. Okay? It will be a lie that he is revealed by. It will be a lie that everyone in the world, except those who know Jesus Christ for real, will believe. He will set himself up over and against all other gods, Paul says. Okay? And the world will believe that he is God. I have a video on my channel. I think it's a playlist. Did I make a playlist or did I just upload a bunch of videos? Let me see. Go to YouTube, go to my channel if you want some in-depth teaching on this and what the Bible says. Let's see. Let's go to my channel here. View my channel. Playlist. There it is right there. The End Times Chronicles. Right there. If you want to go to that playlist. Right there. I've got, I've got 9 videos on the subject. So if you want to check out that and get my take on those things, sorry, I'm closing down some stuff, looking, So that's going on. Epsilon, I am not. I don't separate from people that are pre-tribulation rapture. But the gathering of the saints to Christ will happen after he is revealed, according to Paul in his letter to the Thessalonians. Read chapter 2 of his second letter. Anyway, encourage, but that's okay if we disagree there, but that's my take on it. So anyway, that said, for those of you that may not know this, I've been in full-time ministry as a Bible teacher and pastor since 2004. I am no longer in active ministry as far as in a full-time capacity. I am in the process of, I've been wanting to, let me say this, start a YouTube channel where I could get the word out. And it's called, the channel is called Show Us Christ. It has not been, I have no content up yet. But it will be coming, and I'm going to be full-time trading and then devoting my time to getting the word out that way. So that's coming. But I've got to get established as full-time trading and get ready. All right, so let's get to the analysis here. So understand this. Bitcoin is going to be valued by the US dollar forever. So could it be that whatever dollar is recreated digitally, the digital dollar, could it be that Bitcoin never reaches a value of $1 million or $500,000 or whatever? It does maintain value but steady value and maybe a growing value as if it becomes highly sought out as the supply will never increase, right? But here's the thing: what if some other digital asset becomes the new? You got to understand we're moving to Web3, and Web3 is the next thing, and Ethereum and the DeFi is the big banking, token and system, right? We know that. We know that's a big part. XRP may play a role in that as well. So XRP and Ethereum, in my opinion, may rise to the top of the crypto winter that I think is coming. I think there's a crypto winter coming, and I think that we're going to see a fall. We'll see a fall and a death of a lot of these useless cryptos. But what has real utility in the Web3 space and in the new economy that will be created, what has real utility and real value, they will rise to the top. Jay Freeman, I hold to a post-tribulation position. I grew up in churches that teach pre-tribulation positions, but as I became a biblical student, I cannot, with any kind of good conscience, hold to a pre-tribulation rapture. So though I was taught pre-tribulational position my entire growing up years and in my teenage years and even in seminary, I could not hold to that position. Read 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 for just a real clear position there. All right. So is Bitcoin going to be valued at US dollars? No. Is it going to be is it going to reach 1 million? Yeah, I mean, it could be 1 million, whatever the CBDC is, as Camel says. But who's to say what that value is going to be? But it could be digital gold. It could be, but that's a big bet, and you can invest. You can invest in it. But is this where you're buying? Is this where you're going to buy? Or are you going to wait for this move? Because this is what markets do. They correct, and they correct deeply, and they correct in 3 waves. So yeah, I think Bitcoin will eventually go to the price you guys are expecting, to the moon. I think Bitcoin's going to the moon. But this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3-wave pullback. Okay. 2030 and on. That's when we go to the moon. Okay. So I'm a believer as far as Bitcoin. The next time biggest alt season, the next time Bitcoin moons, the only alts that are going to rise are going to be the ones that have real utility. But what's going to happen is you're going to see a death to the market first. You're going to see a death. The market has to be called. Okay, remember the digital, the what do you call it? The remember the internet bubble, the .com bubble. What happened? You had at the beginning stages, you had all of these .com startups. And they were just money grabbing at the beginning, right? And all these, but there had to be a correction, and then so that all the fake and phony ones could die. And what rose to the top? The real utility. Okay, Amazon and Yahoo, and and Facebook and such. Right? That's what happened. So right now you have the crypto bubble. There needs to be a multi-year bear market during which major selling is happening in a bearish environment for this bubble to burst. Then once the crypto winter takes place and the non-utilitarian crypto dies, what has real value will rise to the top. Why? Because all the money that was in those will then be funneled into the ones that have real and lasting value over and above all these other ones. So right now, everybody's betting. Place your bets. Which one's going to pump? Which one's going to the moves? Is it Jasmine? Is it Solana? Is it this or that? But as one starts to rise to the top, or as a few of them rise to the top, as the ones that have real utility, you're going to start seeing money flow into those projects more and more and more. And that's when you're going to see these alts begin to rise and go to the moon. So what you have to do is you look at what the banks are doing. Guys, look, you got to look at what the banks are doing because they have the money. They control the market. What are the banks doing? Ethereum is what the banks are doing. DeFi is what the banks are doing. XRP, maybe, what the banks are doing, maybe. The banks are using those systems. They're rising to the top. So I would suggest that you do your research and start investing in those that have real utility. But I believe a crypto winter is coming. I believe a major economic crash is coming. That all markets, what you're going to see is a money transfer. Okay, here's the way I think it's going to work. You have markets. Okay, markets. You have the new digital economy. I'm going to call it DE here. How is the money going to move from the traditional legacy market, LM, to the digital economy? How is it going to move? Well, you have to sell these markets. Okay? It has to be transferred to something of real value right now. Gold, silver, boom. Markets crash. Money moves. Gold, silver pumps. When that's been finalized, then money gets moved. When the all legacy market and the baby digital economy, this first wave, when it pulls back and gives you a price correction, when it's cheap enough, markets will go down, gold and silver will go up, then money will come back in. And that's when moon. Money will go out of gold and silver into the digital economy. That's what I think is happening. That's what I believe is happening. Why do I believe that? Well, if you simply if you look at the last correction of the market, look at the S&P for a minute. When this collapsed, when this went down, what was gold doing? Gold was going up. The DXY, what was the DXY doing? The dollar index. It was going down. In other words, there's sell pressure on the dollar. People aren't buying the dollar. So in other words, they weren't selling out of markets and then moving their money to the dollar. The dollar wasn't pumping. You had markets tanking and the dollar tanking at the same time. So where's the money going? There's no buy pressure on the dollar. There's sell pressure on the dollar. So where's the money going? Well, in that last correction, not only in this correction here, in this dump, not only was the markets going down, S&P and the NASDAQ, and the dollar was going down, crypto was also going down at the same time. Money wasn't being moved into crypto. No. What was going up? What was rocketing up at the time? Gold. Gold and silver. So this is the first, maybe a first wave of selling. You get a FOMO wave here, where it goes up and then they sell it off. And when that happens, crypto will go down with it. The dollar will go down with it. Okay, money will be moving into gold. There'll be a gold rush, and you'll be buying gold late. So as the markets tank, and there's a price discount on Bitcoin. Sorry, I'm on the wrong chart here. Here we go. As a discount is created in Bitcoin, there's going to be a lot of FUD going on. There's going to be very scary news going on. It's going to make you want to sell your Bitcoin, not buy it. Okay? But that's what's going to be happening if this happens. If this correction is coming, it's going to be scary news. It's going to be big. It's going to be all over the news. It's going to be scary. Okay? But once price is marked down back to the level of real support, which is 20 to 40K, that's the area of real support. 20 to 40K. Right there. Once price gets down to real price support, you're going to see the big boys start to buy again. While you're selling and Bitcoin's dead, they're going to buy. You're going to see money moving out of gold and silver into crypto. And the world is going to change dramatically. Dramatically. Yeah, I think it's most likely that during the bear market that's coming, we're going to be trading heavily between 70 and 100K, but we will see prices reach probably 40 to 60K, possibly even 20K, but for a very short amount of time. Yeah, 60K is big support, no doubt, but it's 50K really. 60K not so big, but 50K is a better number. Right there at the trough of this wave. Okay, so I pay attention to troughs, not peaks. Why? Because that's the area where price hit and bounced off of. Okay. All right. I have spent an hour discussing macro thoughts. So let's talk wave structure, shall we? What is this wave? First off, let me just say I don't know anything. I'm only doing my best to analyze the wave structure that I'm seeing. Okay. So looking on the daily chart, this very well. Okay. So one of the things you got to consider, you have to respect, is that this could be a three-wave pullback. Now we're getting another wave to the upside. Okay. You got to respect that. As bearish as I have been and as bearish as I am, I also hold on to my positions. Number one, I get in and out of the market. Number one, because I try to stay. I try to stay as neutral as possible. So I do have belief systems, And I am bearish on humanity. I'm bearish on traditional markets, but I don't know when they're going to crash. I don't know how it's going to crash. I don't know what geopolitical landscape is going to look like when and how, but things look bad to me right now. And they're getting worse. Now, as we look at this appears to be three waves, and we go back, we got a little three wave, and we look like we're going back up again. I think that's what it looks like. But looks can be deceiving. What you might have here, what's possible, is that this is three waves. Boom. This is also three waves that took the high. And now we're beginning a move down that should be five waves to retest this zone. If this zone gets hit again, right here, 50K, 60K, 50 to 60K, I get bullish again. Depending on how it hits, I get bullish again. May not stay bullish forever, depending on the wave structure, but I will get bullish. But right now, personally, I see this as a real potential. Now, for the macro bullish look, that might simply be another pullback in a series of major moves to the upside, and we might get a moonshot after that. That the multi-year bear market that I've been talking about in previous may not play. This is a very bullish, so this could be a 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2. Now, if that's a 1, 2, 1, 2, we are talking major wave here. If it's a 1, 2, I don't want to get you too bullish here, but let me explain where that price is going. I don't think it's a 1, 2, 1, 2, but it could be. We're going to pull the fibs here. One, two. I think it's out of proportion for a 1, 2, 1, 2, personally. But let's just see if that's a 1, 2, 1, 2. Holy moly. $200K is nothing for this. We're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? I just don't think we're doing that. I think it's much more likely that this comes down and then we begin. And it looks more like the S&P. If you look at the S&P chart, this is what I think Bitcoin's going to look like. But it's not going to 1 million in your lifetime, or it could, depending on how young you are. But in your kids' lifetimes and grandkids' lifetimes, but what's the economy going to be like? What's it going to be like? Yeah, that's a good question. Let's look at the S&P for a moment. Just kind of understand this market over a long period of time. This is what I'm talking about right here. See that wave right there? That's the kind of pullback I'm talking about. That's the kind of multi-year bear market I'm talking about. Where you got 3 waves. Boom, boom, boom. And then after that, that's when it just kind of goes and goes and goes and goes. This looks very much like a 4 and a 5 FOMO wave. And we see a decline of the legacy market now. This is 50 years. We see a decline of the legacy market and a rise of the crypto market. You see what I'm saying? So I think the S&P is reaching a peak here at some point, and there's going to be a sell-off. Now, could we go up to 7,000? Yeah, we could. I can't tell you what number it's done, but it'll be done when the big it's close. It's coming. It's close in time. But this kind of pullback here is what I'm referring to. And then I'm looking for Bitcoin. So I'm looking for Bitcoin to make a similar type correction that continues on. You see, with the onset of AI, with the onset of the digital economy, a lot of these legacy companies, they're going to die. It's going to be a slow death, right? But they're going to die. That means the value of those stocks are going to go down. People are going to move their money out of that market because they're going to see the digital age rising, and so the money's going to move where the greatest gains happen. So there has to be a transfer of wealth. Enrique, I don't know. I don't know how it's all going to play out. I just understand that the money has to be transferred. I don't understand every aspect of it. But this is the paradigm through which I understand wave structure. That money is moving and liquidity is being taken and your money is being taken from you. And so I know that you guys are looking for this thing to go up to 200K right now. I think it's more likely we get a 3-wave pullback back down to 40 or 50K before we get a move up like that. And depending on how long, we could get a rally and then another move back down to 20K before we get the big move. You get a rally back to the top and then it goes back down and then we get, later. And that's what the S&P did. So I think a correction like this is more likely than us to go up. There's too much money to move. And they're not done. Don't be torn between me or Chemo. We just have differing points of view. You should consider everybody's point of view. So, all right. Let's do a little micro analysis and say, okay, what's going on in the macro? That's by the way, guys. I'm a pure trader. I get in and out of the market. So I go bull, I go bear. But what do I see in the long term? I'm bearish for now. What's happening up here? What's going on here? There's two things I can see. First off, this could simply be a three-wave pullback. This is the 1 hour chart. Okay. That could be a three-way pullback, and now we're going. And this could be we're going up, and look, didn't we just break out? Or no, we're threatening a breakout here. We're threatening a breakout. I think it's likely that we come and hit this breakout. We might get a rejection here, and then a boom. Okay, so that's possible. What else could it be? Here's the structure you got to learn. Okay, watch this. Boom. 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 So price is going up. 3 waves down, 3 waves up, 3 waves down, making a lower low. Which way is price going? Well, you got a 3-wave correction, Jim. It's going up now, right? Watch this. Boom. You say, what's that? That's what you call a flat. 3, 3, 5. And that flat can take the top out here. In other words, price can come up here and then come down. All right? Doesn't have to, but it can. It can also do this, where it doesn't break the top, and then it rolls over and comes down. It doesn't break this top or that top, and it rolls over. That's called a running. That's called a flat as well, but that's a running flat. The first one that I drew that took the top out would be called an expanded flat. So what I'm seeing here, it's bullish if it's a flat, but not until it hits 40, 50K. That's what I'm saying, Camel. If that's a flat and it doesn't take the top out, it's not, because look here, A, B, C. Now all of a sudden you have a wave 1 and a flat wave 2. And then you get a dump wave 3, 4, 5. Where are we going? Where's price going? And more than likely, this wave will be bigger. Okay. A, B, C. So that's the bearish look of that wave count. The wave structure that's the bearish concept. That what you actually have here going on is this is a flat. It could be expanded, take this high out. It could be running and not take that high out. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 3-wave pullback that looks bullish because it gives the impression of 3 waves and then an impulse. But it's not. This rolls over and comes down. And that would be a 1, 2 right there. And now we what we do is come down here, pull back up, take another half a month to a month of price before we coming down. That's another possibility, Jay Freeman. And you got a nice potential setup here for an A, B, C, some kind of move back down to, let's just put the fibs here. Golden zone retrace would be 87 to 88K. A 50% retrace, 94,000. A shallow 382, 95 to 96. To the 441 would be 95.5. And that would be a bullish setup for a three-wave pullback and then continuation. Nick, golden cross. Yeah, you could get a golden cross, but you can also get a hit to the low. With Ethereum, this is really interesting wave structure here. Going out on the daily, you've got 3 waves down, 3 waves up. Is that 5 waves down? It may be, but I don't like it. It doesn't look finished, but it doesn't mean it's not finished. We came down to the 127, almost the 1414. That's a nice extension. We came down to the golden zone retrace. Actually came down to the 786 retrace, of this wave to the upside. So could Ethereum be a bullish wave where this is some kind of impulse? My problem is this doesn't look like an impulse wave. It looks like 3 waves. It looks corrective and doesn't look impulsive. It didn't finish. That's my issue. That's my problem. It's one of my problems. This looks like 3 waves. So I got 3 waves down, 3 waves up. I'm looking for 3 waves down, and I'm looking for 5 waves here. It just doesn't give me the sense this is 5. I'm looking for this to come down here, take this low out. Let's revisit 400 to 600, get prices down here, and then go. But maybe that won't happen. Maybe that won't happen. But if I'm applying Elliott wave theory, I need this wave to be 5. I don't have a good wave count for 5 waves there, though it could be. I just don't have the wave 5 look that I need. What I actually have is I had hidden bearish divergence, and I need one more wave to finish. What that would allow, if price came down here, what that would allow, it would come down fast, FOMO wave, hit the liquidity down here, and then come back up. Boom. Relatively quickly, back up into this zone here, and then we have a multi-year correction before in 2030 we start mooning with Ethereum. So this move to take this low would be an ideal wave structure for me on Ethereum. And it would give me a finished look of this wave. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that's what I think. And so if price gets down here, I'm a real strong buyer of Ethereum. I want to buy Ethereum down here if it comes down here this deep. Definitely looking to buy Ethereum in that range. Now, could Ethereum go up from here and keep rocking? Yes, it could. I'm not here to say it can't. This could be 3 waves. It could be finished regardless of whether I can count 5 waves or not. It could be done. We have a wave 1. We have a 3-wave pullback, and now it's starting to go. That's a very bullish look. That could be happening. But my problem is I have a wave count. If I apply Elliott and say, man, my expectation would seem that we need another wave down. Okay. When I look at XRP, okay, on the 3-day chart, for instance. Now, let me go to a different XRP chart. There we go. What you'll notice, XRP goes straight up, but price comes straight down. It goes straight up, price hits. In other words, these big straight up candles get filled. Okay? So we have this big price gap here, right here, that in my understanding of how XRP moves, price needs to fill this. And then it needs to start going up, filling as it goes. That what you could be seeing here, is a wave 1 and a multi-year wave 2. That if I just zoom out, get on the 2-week chart, we retest this low, get a running flat, and then XRP starts going to the moon. But it's not going to happen as fast as you want it to, and it's not going to happen overnight. These kinds of waves that get the straight up moves, okay? What happens, guys, when crypto goes straight up? What happens when crypto goes straight up? How doesn't it usually just come straight back down? Isn't that what crypto does? It's when crypto starts to just kind of go up a little, pull back, go up a little and pull back, go up a little and pull back. When it starts doing that, that's when she starts moving big, right? So we need to finish this. This straight up thing needs to be taken, and then it needs to start slowly pumping. That's what I think. I could be wrong on that, but that's what I believe XRP needs to do. So I see this real possibility for this move down here for XRP before we get the moon boy pump. Before that yes, XRP may go to the moon, but we could get this fast wave down. So think about it. We go to the daily on Bitcoin. I got 3 waves. We get a fast wave down on Bitcoin. Boom. That's 5 waves. Boom. Ethereum. Fast wave down. XRP. Fast wave down. But once Bitcoin finds a local bottom and begins to slowly correct, this is when the alt season happens. Price of Bitcoin stays relatively the same, and you're going to see ETH start to pump. You're going to see XRP potentially start to pump. As Bitcoin just kind of finds a range between 100 and 50 or 60K. And price stays in that range. And every time Bitcoin starts going up hard, you see that Ethereum and XRP and some of these other alts going up harder. When I look at the ETH BTC chart, for instance, when I look at the ETH BTC chart, what do I see? I see this setting up as a 3-wave move that needs to kind of come down here and finish. 3, 3, 3, retesting these lows. But then you're going to see ETH starting to take off again against BTC. In other words, Ethereum is going to start the ETH BTC chart. ETH is going to gain value against BTC. So I am looking for more blood in the streets for Ethereum and XRP and BTC, but the next low that gets hit is going to be the utility run, where ETH, maybe XRP, maybe ADA, maybe, Solana, some of these New World Order coins where the banking systems are going to use those. They start running. They start moving. Okay. Well, guys, it's been a different kind of live tonight for sure. I hope you've enjoyed yourself. It's 10:30. I've been talking for an hour and a half now. How are you guys doing? You doing okay with, I know y'all having a chat as well. Chemo's keeping the chat running. Make sure you check out Chemo's channel. He offers really good content. Definitely an interesting perspective. So as far as the micro analysis is concerned, the bearish look here is that this is 3 waves. Boom. Let's see if we're going to start making our way down now as a 1-2. That this could come up and take this high out, but I would like to see the previous all-time high hold. That's what I would like to see. The bullish look, there's 2 bullish counts here. This was a 3-wave pullback, and we're going. You get a small pullback, and we're going. It shouldn't be a deep pullback. It should just be kind of hanging out here, and then we go. All right. That's bullish. Or we get a double correction where this is a W, this is X, and we get a Y wave back somewhere between 90 and 95K, maybe 85 and 95K, in that range. Boom. And then we go. So there it is. That's the analysis for tonight. Steven, thanks for the thank you. Appreciate it. Hope you guys enjoyed. Remember, I'm not here to give you all financial advice. I'm just offering my viewpoint, the way I look at the markets, through the perspective of liquidity grabbing of the big boys, the banking system, the geopolitical circumstances, and wave structure. And it's as balanced as you could be, guys. I'm bullish when I need to be bullish, but I'm not bullish at 100K necessarily. If price gets back down to 50K, I get bullish again. Real bullish, but maybe not forever. But I look for a strong bounce there. All right, guys. I'm pretty tired. I'm not going to take a bunch of requests tonight. There's not a whole lot. We're at indecision time. In other words, I need to see this monthly candle close. I need to see how this candle is going to close tomorrow. So let's see how it closes, and then maybe I'll offer a midweek video for you guys. If you want a daily video, my morning thoughts. I offer a morning thoughts video during the weekdays where I think price might be heading for the day, if you're a day trader, or just my thoughts on wave structure. So if you want a daily viewpoint of the wave structure, that's what I offer in my Discord. So come join. All right. I hope y'all have a great night. I see some requests for NVIDIA and some other things. I see all the markets topping, and I'm looking for a correction at some point. But where's the top? Is there wave structure that's saying certainly we're going up or down? No, they can really do, as far as the traditional markets are concerned. They can keep pumping them. I would like to take just a quick peek at NVIDIA, because that's a nice chart, and it's not one I get to look at a lot because. But let's see. Let's look in the 3-day. Yeah. So, what I'm seeing here is potential 5 waves. You had a wave 4 here that came down to the 4th of the previous degree. This looks like a potential wave 5. Where is it going to stop? I can't tell you, but it looks like it's got more up to go. Doesn't look finished on the 3-day chart. Is it a good time to invest in NVIDIA? Maybe. We are moving into the AI world, and NVIDIA is a big part of that. So, yeah. Guys, those golden crosses are they're lagging indicators. So just remember that that's moving averages are lagging. That means you can get the golden cross, and then you can get a big price dump after that. Once you get the dump, you look to rebuy. Right, you buy then. So. All right, guys. Just remember, the big boys, they don't buy at the top. They buy at the bottoms. So when you get the deep pullbacks, fast pullbacks, when you get a reset of the RSI on the 3-day, that's when you think about buying. So, all right, guys. I hope y'all have a fantastic evening. Stay safe out there. Bye-bye.